me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
And really look at that personal development, really unlocking the impact potential and in the strengths that our partner recreation colleagues, professionals from around the country bring on an everyday basis, making sure, we know we're awesome, right? But the reality is there's going to be some challenges that you have to deal with on a daily basis, but how you flip those to opportunities and you have to make sure you're still pouring on that sauce, man.
Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show, live from the NRPA Conference 2025 in Orlando. Today's guest is one of the most inspiring leaders in the field, Atuya Cornwell, Director of Parks and Recreation for Chapel Hill, North Carolina. With over 22 years in the industry, Atuya's story is rooted in resilience and community. Inspired by his father, a Paralympic powerlifter and lifelong coach, Atuya has carried forward a legacy of service, leadership, and impact through Parks and Recreation. In this conversation, you'll hear how his journey shaped his vision, why the NRPA Convention feels like the Super Bowl of our profession, and how his Awesome Sauce 2.0 session is helping professionals unlock their full potential. So stick around. You won't want to miss this powerful story of family, perseverance, and the lasting impact of Parks and Recreation. Let's dive in.
All right, so we are live again here at the NRPA 2025 Orlando Convention. I've got one of our best guests I think I've ever had. I've had a lot of people come and say that they really enjoyed when you came on the show.
Appreciate it.
You're over at tell everyone that maybe doesn't know you about
Yeah, absolutely, man. Once again, appreciate being here, Craig. Atuya Cornwell. I have the pleasure to serve as Director of Parks and Recreation for the town of Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And this is my 22nd year of being in the industry, man. So excited to be here and definitely excited to be at the conference here. It's the Super Bowl for us, right?
Oh, it really is. Really is. And so how did you get into Parks and Recreation? Maybe do a little bit of your origin story.
Yeah, for sure, man. Growing up, my pops was my hero. My dad was a Paralympic athlete. He became paralyzed when I was about 5 months old. So part of his rehabilitation process was athletics. He was a coach, a youth sports coach before he got paralyzed. So he returned back to that. And also he became a Paralympic athlete, powerlifter, man, represented the United States in the 92 Paralympics. So just growing up with him over the years, man, and being like a little coach with him, and that's being my hero. Yeah. And seeing the power of sports and recreation really got me in the field. And I went to University of North Carolina at Greensboro, had the opportunity to do an internship with the WNBA, the Charlotte Sting at the time, gave me the business side of sports. So out of college, man, I had an opportunity to either go with the WNBA, NBA, or Parks and Rec. Went with Parks and Rec and enjoyed the experience. And here I am, still rocking and rolling.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted you to comment on, so for those of you who don't know, there's 8 of us at the Daily Parks and Rec Show putting in like 400 or 500 man hours a week, building a media company for the industry of Parks and Recreation. And one of the issues we saw is that this industry, unfortunately, is what you would call a discovery major, which means you don't even find out that you can get into Parks and Rec. So you're already either graduated or right in the middle of college. And so we created a little short film for all directors to play in front of your part-time workers, or if you find yourself in front of a group of college kids, just to start the conversation, and then you can give a testimony to your industry. So I'm going to play this, and then we'll come right back, and I'd love to get your take on it.
Absolutely. Let's look at it.
Every career is a choice, but few careers let you touch lives. Not once in a while, but every single day. Step into a park on a Saturday morning. You'll hear children laughing on the soccer field, families gathering for a picnic, seniors walking the trails, finding health and friendship. And behind every smile, every memory, is a Parks and Rec professional. We don't just mow fields, we grow confidence in young athletes. We don't just build playgrounds, we create safe spaces where childhood thrives. We don't just plan events, we design moments that anchor generations. Think of the coach who teaches patience, the director who champions equity, the staff member who sees potential in a child no one else believed in. Every day, Parks and Rec professionals shape character, preserve beauty, and strengthen community. And the path isn't easy. Budgets are tight, resources stretched thin, but the reward, unmatched. Because what you give comes back in legacy, in healthier communities, in lives forever changed. So why dedicate your life to Parks and Recreation? Because here, your work never ends. It lives on, in laughter echoing across playgrounds, in green spaces preserved for the next century, in the young professionals rising to lead tomorrow. This is not just a career, it's a calling, it's a legacy, it's Parks and Recreation. A message from the Parks and Rec community.
All right. So how do we do on that one?
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And what I like about it, Craig, is it really takes the opportunity and impact that we make on a daily basis, and seeing it in the space of being like in my 22nd year in this industry.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen it from the ground, you know, right there being with that T-ball program, right? But then also seeing it in the lens where I'm at now as a director. And I tell my team a lot, man, I ugly cry in my car driving home a lot, because that ugly cry moment often is stimulated by what I just saw in that video. Is just the impact we make, man. And then often now being in a space where I'm a director, you know, people will come up and just want to say, hey, oh, you're the director of the department? Man, that T-ball class was great. That therapeutic rec course y'all had, you know, that clay studio. And it really, I get to see the impact on a daily basis. And I'm always just so thankful for my team in Chapel Hill, because they really are, man, changing lives. And it's what we do. It's what we do. And all the people that are here at this conference, this is what we do on a daily basis. So kudos.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal representation of what we do. 100%.
Yeah. So I threw that up on our YouTube channel. It's free for anybody to use. You don't need permission. I'm giving everybody permission to cut it, plagiarize it, use it. We made it as a gift to the industry.
Nice.
If you can help plant a seed in one young person's heart to maybe consider this industry, to dedicate their lives, that's what it's there for. So
Absolutely.
Take it and run with it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Now let's go back a little bit to the impact watching your dad through Paralympics had on you as a young man, and how is that affecting your leadership today?
Yeah, absolutely. It was an opportunity. I think I've been able to appreciate it more over the last several years when I started to think about it. But just having the opportunity to see my hero, have a front row seat with my hero, you know, growing up in life, and to see him not only, you know, overcome the daily challenges when it comes to somebody, you know, utilizing a wheelchair. And like I said, when we were on an episode, man, you know, a lot of things that we take for granted now, this was in the 80s. So you didn't have ramps, you didn't have, you know, lifts on buses, right? And you just didn't even have that overall welcoming spirit. But now to have that, but to know that he was kind of a trailblazer with all of those in that community in those years, man, to really do the work now, and you see the benefits of that work, the advocacy work, not just on the sports side of what he did. But yeah, it was just great growing up. And I always can tell people, man, really one of the main reasons why he was able to successfully compete as an athlete was the other things. Like, so my community center, Tuckasegee Recreation Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, had Miss Shirley, Tom, and George. There was the community center supervisors, and they really made it a good space for my pops to be a dad, man, you know, back in the mid 80s. Right. So when I had those field trips at, you know, going to the zoo, or, you know, going to the local, you know, park or what have you, they made it possible in a very, you know, receptive environment for my dad to be a father back then, man. So to be in this space and also to see him over life, man, you know, definitely be on the front lines when it came to the advocacy work, and also to be on the front lines when it's just being a world-class athlete, man.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see my dad lose too often. Like, he pretty much, you know what I mean? Most of the time he was the winner. You know
what were
I mean?
his stats? I know he was like huge on bench press, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Puerto Rico, he got 475. You know, he put up 475. So
that's huge.
In the Paralympics in 92 in Barcelona, he came in 5th overall in the heavyweight division. So that was really cool to see that. Plus, I got to go to Barcelona, Spain. I always tell people my favorite part was I always got to go to the Olympic Village and eat all the free Mickey D's that I wanted. So that was cool. But I'm always thankful to my dad and my mom, man. So him being an athlete and is also being somebody that was advocating for people with disabilities. I really got to travel the world growing up, and so to be here in this space and to be with NRPA and be at this conference and be able to connect with people from around the country that really get it and get the impact when it comes to park and recreation and the services that we provide. Like I said, it's Super Bowl. It's really good to be home with family.
Oh yeah. Now, for those who haven't come to an NRPA convention or maybe even a state convention, can you give a little maybe feel of what it's like and how often you've attended these and what they've meant to you?
Yeah, man. They kind of I've kind of forgotten, like I think it was like 2007, 2008. But fortunately, I've been to every single one since then.
What?
Every single one I've been able to go to. So I'm thankful to the organizations and the agencies that I worked for that, saw how the benefit of coming to something like this helps out. But also thankful to NRPA. My first conference was in Baltimore, I think it's like 2008, 2009. I'm getting to that age, man, where it all blurs in. I forget stuff a little bit here. But about 2008, 2009, had a fellowship through NRPA, gave me an opportunity to go have a great mentor, Susan Cooper from the New England area. The next year, I got another fellowship. So I had Tom Ross, who's from the Maryland Recreation and Park Association, was another mentor. So they really, took me under their wing, connected me with a lot of people at the conference. So it's just been phenomenal. So like I said, this is the Super Bowl. So every year, and being able to kind of see people grow in the industry as well, back when the Young Professional Network, I think I shared on the episode that I came on that we used to do this thing called kind of like it's like the iReport thing. We used to do these little blogs, vlogs or whatever back in the day where the technology wasn't as great as what you have now.
Right.
But to see the people that were actually on those episodes and connecting, and also to see their growth in the industries. Many of them have became assistant directors, doing great things in their community, man. So this is just phenomenal. I'm always thankful to be able to come, always thankful to be able to bring team members as well. So it's an exciting time, and our industry continues to grow, continues to be on the front line. The innovation still being there, and it's a lot of good motivation, man, as well as the sessions and stuff. So I'm looking forward to my session on Thursday as well. So what are you speaking on? What's your awesome sauce 2.0? I'm actually being joined by a non-park and recreation professional, somebody that's actually in the banking industry, but a good friend of mine that went to UNC Greensboro with me. So 20 plus years later, we're going to have an opportunity to do What's Your Awesome Sauce 2.0. and really look at that personal development, really unlocking the impact potential and in the strengths that our partner recreation colleagues, professionals from around the country bring on an everyday basis. But making sure, we know we're awesome, right? But the reality is there's going to be some challenges that you have to deal with on a daily basis, but how you flip those to opportunities and be able to make sure you're still pouring on that sauce, man. So What's Your Awesome Sauce 2.0 this Thursday at 10:30 a.m. So I'm excited about it, man. It's going to be cool. And I'm really excited to be able to bring Brian Campbell and introduce him to the park and recreation family.
Now, where'd you get that title from? I know this is your part 2, but was that something that kind of developed through other experiences in your life?
Yeah, actually, the first time we did it was here. I had another co-presenter, Courtney Grange, and he actually, like I said, he used to do that awesome sauce, something similar with, he was in youth development. So he used to do it with teachers. So we put a different spin on it, curated for park and recreation professionals. So probably about 2017, 18 was the first time we did it. And then times when I do have the opportunity to do the workshop, maybe like in a more of a smaller setting, it's a little bit of creativity. You get to do art, you get to color your bottle. We have commercials, man, that people do on the spot, you know what I mean? But 2.0 is a little bit of an extension of that. But like I said, the reality is once you know and realize that you're awesome, sometimes we need to be reminded. Because the day-to-day grind, the day-to-day challenges. So we're excited about it, and I'm excited to be able to, extend what me and Courtney started in about 2017, 2018. Bring Brian in the fold as well for him to put his special sauce on it. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. Yeah.
Now, have you had any takeaways so far from the convention? What's the general message that you're getting, or the theme that you're getting from the convention here?
Yeah, thus far, I mean, the first thing is just being able to come in and see my colleagues, man, from around the country. And sometimes you only get to see them once a year, but the energy that's being shared and just being able to connect and realize that they're continuing to make impacts in their community and hear about what some of the things they're doing. The opening session speaker was phenomenal. And, my spot with my pops being a Paralympic athlete, being able to hear those stories really goes a long way with being to see all of the great things she's been able to do. Coming from her competing, as a world-class athlete to also the other things she's doing, being on Dancing with the Stars and all of that great stuff, and being a model and all that great stuff. So that just hit home as well, man. It really takes me back to just growing up with my dad and being a part of that community as well. So it's early on. This is really the first full official day, right?
That's it.
But definitely already inspired, man. And once again, it's just great to be able to connect with colleagues from across the country. Like sometimes you only get to see them once a year, but it's like, man, it's like you see them all the time. Though. It's like, don't miss a step. It's family. It's family.
So for those of us that maybe don't have a university town that we operate in, we'll kind of close on this one, but what's it like to run a Parks and Rec department where you've got a major university in your own backyard?
It's great. It's a great partnership that's there in the town, and being able to connect with students, even from a standpoint of them becoming over, being, after school, tutors, right? Coming over, we having UNC Chapel Hill students come over, help out with our after school program. To also being able to have, they're in the community, right? So they're coming to our pickleball courts, they're coming to our tennis courts, they're signing up for our clay studio classes as well. So that's phenomenal. But then also, I think the potential of even being able to grow in the future, like with future development, future partnerships. So it's pretty cool. And then to have, in my humble opinion, right, other than the University of North Carolina at Greensboro I went to have the Tar Heels, UNC, to be right there in the same town. This is a phenomenal university from an academic standpoint, and of course, from the athletic standpoint, phenomenal as well. And we're just really thankful for what they do and curate on a daily basis to kind of help support and to be able to have impact on youth and kids. And we have that connection with the kids, so it's pretty cool, man. It's super solid, and is there's always, I think, great opportunities and potential in the collaborations and stuff. So I'm so very thankful to be in the town of Chapel Hill, and even beyond just the university piece, it's pretty cool that we have. We have a town. Sometimes people might kind of forget about it. That, it's beyond just the university there. So for me, being over there the last 3 years, it's been great just to be able to work with phenomenal professionals, even beyond the Park and Recreation Department.
Right.
So I'm just very thankful for the team there and the whole entire town team at the town of Chapel Hill.
Man, well, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing with us, your whole story coming into this, hearing about your father. 100%. And really appreciate all the leadership that you're doing for the leading the charge with Parks and Recreation. So.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. It's great to see you in person.
Yeah.
Keep grinding. I know we had fun with, I passed Canes before I left and got on the airport. Yeah. So I thought about you because I know we talked about Canes, right? But definitely appreciate it and keep doing this great work that y'all doing, man. And it's great to be a part of the family. 100%. Yeah. Thank you.
We'll definitely keep going.
All right. Absolutely.
Good talking to you.
Same here. Appreciate it.
Take care.
At DPRS Media Co., we believe Parks and Recreation isn't just a service, it's the heartbeat of our communities. We exist to honor the people, the vendors, and the leaders shaping the future of Parks and Rec. Our mission is simple: to tell their stories, highlight their careers, and celebrate their essential work. Our vision is bold: to be the trusted hub where leaders, vendors, and communities unite, inspiring innovation, sharing wisdom, and building a stronger, healthier nation. Through over 220 live shows and 6 weekly series, the Leadership Series, Facility Maintenance, Young Professionals Network, Youth Sports Mastery, The Rec Room, and Growing Leaders, plus our industry-leading newsletter, the weekly Parks and Rec Post, we're building a media platform made for the Parks and Rec community. And now, we're inviting strategic partners to co-create this story with us. As a partner, you'll gain 12 hours of annual live exposure with custom shows highlighting your expertise, polished 60-second promos refined for maximum impact, year-round visibility with dozens of replays across our media network, premium features in our newsletter, and amplified social media reach across LinkedIn, X, and Facebook. This is your chance to educate, inspire, and lead while connecting directly with the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. This is DPRS Media Co. Let's build the future of Parks and Rec together.